Hi.
Hello.
For people that are scrolling, this video is going to talk about unrealistic expectations in the terms of
relationships.
Yeah, being attracted to others while in a relationship and what that looks like, and we're just opening a conversation.
Yes. Right off the top, we don't expect you to agree. We don't expect you may disagree. I think that what I respect is people who have the understanding that a conversation is just to elicit more people to have different ideas. I invite people to have different ideas, pique my interest. I want to pique your interest. I want you to really be thinking about, challenge your own thoughts. I respect that on all counts. Are you able to challenge your thoughts without bringing emotion to the table, without being too emotionally driven to where you cannot see both sides?
I think that the idea of why we even created this platform is to have the space, to be able to provide the space for conversations like this to be had in the open. And there's many different viewpoints and beliefs and emotions that are tied to where people stand. And if we don't talk about it, there is not a community that can really be there to support each other. And so, yeah, maybe I don't know how we want to start. Did you want to start with what kind of a sense of what you had said?
So in the video, it's been a while since I watched it, but in the video, I basically was explaining how just because you are married and you are off the market or in a relationship, that doesn't mean that your eyes stop wondering. I'm not saying that I'm an advocate for infidelity and cheating, while I do understand that any of this can be the doorway to those things. I'm just saying that you want to be able to have an open relationship with your partner. Don't hide it. That's where I stand. If I may say, dang, baby, okay, she fine, okay. Or, wow, I've noticed something, I noticed that my body reacted in a different way, and I want to explore that. I'm like, babe, can we open the floor for a conversation? I'm constantly getting to know myself in this relationship. Who I was 4 years ago is not the same person that is in front of you right now. Can you agree?
Mm-hmm.
Every day I feel like we're learning something new about ourselves. I would hate for me to continuously grow and continuously get to know myself and not bring my partner in on that.
Or hide that from you.
And that's all I was standing on. Now the comments went in. People really shared how they felt about that. People said, man, this is just going to open the door for infidelity. Or I wish I could tell my wife that I'm attracted to other women. I think that people forget that they're human. And people forget that your human desires don't cease. And people like to use religion to stand on. People like to use their own parents' relationships to stand on and what they've seen. And they stop allowing themselves to be a human being. What you thinking? And I do want to hear, and I want you to share how you felt when we first talked about this.
Yeah. So the way that I kind of am in relationships is I only have eyes for my person. That is it. It doesn't matter how fine or whatnot somebody can be. It's non-existent. Nothing rises in me. I could be like, oh, that's a nice looking person, but it's not like, oh, I want to do, it's I don't have the desire to want to explore anything outside of building and strengthening what we have. And I think that for me, when I hear I'm attracted to this person and made something rise within me. Now it's, for me, I'm like, so what are you not getting from our relationship? What are you not receiving from me? And I guess I don't like understanding my own core fears, which are, you know, the fear of not being enough, the fear of abandonment, the fear of failure. All those tie in and get triggered when I hear her say, oh, that person made me feel like, turn me on.
Did you hear me say that?
Yes.
So I think that you're referring to when we saw there was a naked dude.
Hold on, yes.
Yeah. I don't want to throw you off, but yeah, I just want to make sure.
So there's multiple instances. It could be like there was a naked dude on his balcony and she was surprisingly turned on. And I was like, but
not because of him, but I noticed like, oh, that got me in the mood. More so, not attracted to him, but it got me in the mood.
Well, you also had a dream that Rihanna came up to you and started making out with you. Hold on.
I had a dream
hold on.
with Rihanna.
Yes. And so the way that I see dreams, because she has a lot of powerful dreams, the way that I see dreams is that the subconscious is communicating to you in a way that you want, like that you can interpret. So I'm like, all right, so what is your subconscious telling you that you want? You're looking for something that is exciting. You're looking for something that's new, and all of those things trigger me, because even in her dream, she didn't back down. She was like, all right, like, let's go, you know? And so for me, I recognize that it brings up my own insecurities, and it makes me feel shaky. Like, I don't know, unstable,
not secure.
Yeah. And then it goes into like, well, what am I not doing? Like, I'm not exciting enough. I must be boring. I'm not, you know, adventurous enough. She must want to reach out and try different things. And then what does that lead into? What could that, you know, travel into? Like, what if I do allow her to go and try this out, and then she prefers that, and then she leans towards that. It triggers so many things within me that at the core, I just don't feel comfortable. And so she can be an individual all she wants, but I also have to recognize that that some of the things that she wants and she explores and whatnot does not make me feel good. But it's not her responsibility to make me feel good. It's my responsibility to recognize within myself, like, hey, she's an evolving person. She's changing. She's growing. She's learning these things about herself. She's just letting me in to where she's at. It's up to me that if that feeling within me is so uncomfortable, I have to make the decision, like, to say, like, I decide or I choose not to continue going in this direction with you, because it does not provide me the safety that I'm needing and that I'm looking for. And so I think that a lot of people, we were talking, like, that conversation or that video opened up a conversation between us, because in that video, you can't really tell that I was uncomfortable, but I was just hearing her. And what I tend to do is I try to push down whatever rises up within me, so she has the space to express herself however that she chooses to express herself, no matter, like, without having to quell my own emotions. That, you know, that inner child in me is like, I don't want that. I don't like that. Like, well, you should only love me. I should be your number one. Like, that this is, I want to be chosen. Like, choose me. That's what I'm doing, you know? So, like, my first instinct is to push down those initial feelings. But I had about 24 hours to kind of sit on, you know, what she had expressed, which I know that's not the first time she said it. She's expressed it many different times.
Can we pause for a second?
Yeah.
So I want to basically, like, reiterate that
going.
When we have these conversations, it allows us to process. As you see that if we didn't have this conversation, if we didn't have the foundational secure relationship that we have, the relationship that's built on communication, not just communication of just talking at each other, but a healthy way of a healthy way of communicating. What is it, a B?
It's a math basketball. Oh, I don't even know what. Okay, sorry.
I know if you look at the wasp, you're just gonna go and run around. So I'd rather you just like not look at it. But I think the important part is neither one of us are bringing you in and telling you what you should and should not do in the relationship. What we're doing and what we're displaying for you is, yes, and what we're modeling for you is, wow, this is a real conversation. These are real feelings, no matter what our stance is. But these are real conversations, and there are people who are more fluid and more open, and that's not the point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is ask your partner, do you feel comfortable telling me everything? Ask your partner, do you feel comfortable in letting me in some of your deepest dreams or your deepest desires? And just see and sit back what they say. Also, I challenge you to sit back with your partner and say, you know what? I watched this live today, or I seen this video today, and there was a couple talking about unrealistic expectations, and one was going on about how fluid she is and attractions pop up here and there, but never once did I say I wanted anybody else. Not once. I never said I wanted anybody else. Yes, people have dreams. Yes, people have things that pop up in our subconscious while we're asleep. But I've never ever disrespected Natalie. I've only brought her in to the conversation. I brought her into my inner world. Now, you may disagree and you may agree. You may say, you know what, my partner doesn't need to know what my inner world is like because it may spark all these insecurities. Then that's you and your relationship. But this relationship, what we have here is, no matter how she feels about what it is that I'm saying, no matter how I feel about what it is she's saying, the point of this relationship is you can come to me. You can talk to me. We are practicing effective communication so much so that no matter what you tell me and no matter what it invokes in me emotionally, I want you to feel comfortable to tell me absolutely anything. And I will trust that what we are working on every single day is a comfortable space, a safe space. This doesn't stick and stay only with relationships. It's any relationship you're with. Try it with your kids. Try it with, hey, I want us to build a container, and I want you to, you can do it with kids, you can do it with your students, you can do it be careful with students, but just anybody. And just say, I'm going to build a container. In this container, you are allowed to say however you want to say it. You're allowed to express however you want to express it. You are allowed to say your deepest, whatever you feel comfortable saying, your thoughts. I want you to know that inside of this container, inside of this container, you can be your freest self. Because where else in the world can we be our freest self?
Yeah, you won't be judged.
You won't be judged.
Yeah.
You won't be reprimanded. I won't whoop you. If you're talking to kids, I won't shun you. I won't disown you. I really want to provide this safe space. Imagine if you were a kid and your parent, or you saw your parents model this for each other, that they built a container for you to be not judged and for you to come to them and create that space. I've never seen it, and that's right. That's what. Thank you. It says, and not be weaponized. And it not being weaponized against you. I don't think that you've ever used what I said to weaponize against me. You know, I don't think you've ever said that. What it did allow is whatever insecurities she brought up. She said, you know what? That actually makes me feel uncomfortable. What if you leave me? What if this? What if that? She can let her mind go as far as it can go. But you know what I did? I created a container and a space for her to allow those emotions to come up. And we get to learn from them. This conversation can go as wild as it can with people interjecting their opinions about infidelity, about religion, about, these are subtopics. Do you in this world, anywhere in this world, do you have a space to be your complete authentic self? where you are free from judgment, where you are free from things being weaponized against you? Do you have that space? And are you interested in creating that space? What's up?
Dun dun. Dun dun.
I am so passionate. I come from a background of Christianity. I come from a background, and this is not bashing or anything, but y'all know, when if you come up in a black household, where in my house we gonna praise the Lord, and if you ain't about it, basically you can get up out of here. I couldn't speak on my desires. I could not say out loud that I'm attracted to women.
They taught you to hate yourself.
They taught me that, you know what, that's a spirit. Pray that away. We about to go pray right now. Oh my God, there's a bug that dropped right here. Sorry, it just. And Natalie is terrified of bugs. She is just like,
oh,
if it's creepy crawly, she's done. I'm sorry, y'all. God damn, it's so strong. I don't want to kill it. Okay, it's gone, baby. It's gone.
Oh, Lord of mercy. Girl,
I want to speak on these dreams, though. I will say that what I'm learning through my spiritual, I am really, really passionate about learning more about the conscious and the subconscious, and learning about how your thoughts create your reality. I'm really into that. And a video that I ran across that talked about dreams and subconscious. Dreams are not literal, I believe. Bug is dinner appetizer.
yo, out here in Thailand, these bugs are oh, this is just a butterfly.
It's a butterfly. What do you think that they gonna do to you?
Yo, I do not know, but I just don't want them near me. they be massive and just I don't know. Anyways,
it's all right. It's all right. I let her be her and express herself how she needs to express her. I used to judge her and be like, bro, why you so scary?
It's the fight or flight response within me.
I don't judge you no more. I let you do what you do.
Yes. So you were saying that dreams are not literal. They are messages from your subconscious.
So your subconscious, when you have dreams, your subconscious may be trying to it's a free space for your subconscious to be like, whatever you thinking consciously, you're able to lie to yourself, and you're able to go back and forth with you saw that?
Butterflies bite? I did not know that.
Why'd y'all tell her that? Basically, what I'm trying to say is your subconscious is not literal, so don't take it literal. Sometimes things symbolize things, certain situations, and when it uses what you've seen, it uses what you are familiar with to play out the situation so that you can get the message. Now, I'm not an expert on dreams. I'm still a beginner in learning this stuff, so I'm open to all pieces of information. But I don't want you to take my dreams of making out with Rihanna to be literal, and for you to become, maybe feelings of insecurity because I'm having these dreams. And it is multiple dreams. My dreams, I don't have control over my dreams. I really don't. And I do have a lot of sexual explicit dreams, and it's all over the place. It's very fluid. And I've yet to understand what those messages are. But do I hide them from you? No. You may choose not to talk to your partner about that, but the type of relationship we have, I want to talk to her because she helps me. She's a sounding board. She helps me filter through and talk about, and if I don't get to journal it out, I may just forget about it and not fully flush through how I feel. But when I talk to her, she helps me, what's the word? You help me process. Yeah, you help me process. Yes, Rihanna. And honestly, in real life, I'm not even attracted to Rihanna. I think she's nice. She real. But it's more than physical when I'm attracted to people. It's more of what you have on the inside of you, it's how you carry yourself. It's way deeper than physical.
I think that one of the things that this conversation leads into is the topic of infidelity, is a topic of lying and hiding things from your partner. And if you ever really kind of unpack the layers of why people cheat, of why people hide, why people lie to their partner, it's because, one, they are lying to themselves about what it is that they want and they need, while also trying to avoid the uncomfortable pain or just the discomfort of communicating that to their partner. They don't want their partner to have a negative reaction. So in a way, they feel like they're protecting their partner and their insecurities.
Natalie is better than Rihanna.
Thank you.
Hello.
Ain't
Listen, and to piggyback, I speak from an experience where I've been cheated on, and I've been the cheater. When I had my first relationship in college, it was 2013, 2014. I was very new to the expressing myself sexually world. So anybody who looked my way, I'm like, oh yes, like that feel. I would say I was so insecure and so new to the game that anybody who looked my way, I was like, all right, bet. Like, okay. It just built my ego. Now, when I was in this new relationship, there was another person who caught my eye, and yes, like I cheated. And I straight out lied about it. Didn't want to be honest about it. And I can truly say that the reason why I didn't want to be honest is because I didn't want to carry the emotions of my partner. I didn't want to be honest about, I hurt you, I made a bad decision, or I made a decision that I knew it was going to hurt you. And everybody who cheats and everybody who talks is like, it wasn't you, or it wasn't about. I should have been honest enough to say, you know what, this relationship I no longer want. And I should have dealt with the consequences so that I can go and do what I want. I wish that people had enough respect for themselves and their partners to say, you know what, I have something in me that I would like to explore. And I feel like I want X, Y, and Z.
I think that people are afraid. The reason why people hold on to relationships that are not fulfilling for them or to them is, one, because first of all, the connection is a source of safety in a way. So it's a source of safety that they don't want to give that up. And in addition to that, I had another point. Can you help me out?
Well, yeah, people don't want to release that safety, that bond. Well, my wife or my husband, they're the mother or father of my kids. How will this? Oh
yeah, they're afraid of change.
Yeah,
what change does that mean in their world? Because they've built patterns and I don't want to say systems, but just patterns and behaviors. Right. And, this is so familiar to me. It makes me feel comfortable, and I don't want to lose this, because what does it mean if I was really honest about myself and what I was feeling? Mm-hmm. What does that mean? What does that change look like in this relationship? Am I going to lose the safety that I feel? I actually do love this person, and cheating and infidelity and lying does not negate that the person loves you. They just are afraid to lose something that secures them to a primal level.
Did y'all know that cheating is not limited to sexual intercourse with another person? Cheating is not limited to having eyes for other people. Sometimes cheating is, I know this person is very controversial in this time right now, but I heard Jada Pinkett Smith say in one of the Red Table Talks that in their relationship, she's been cheated on in other ways that hurt a lot worse. Cheating is not just a physical element in the relationship. You can feel cheated on when your partner has a deeper friendship with someone else and they confide in other people instead of confiding in you, where they have different elements that they feel fulfilled. You are an individual and you can figure out what cheating means to you, but that opens up the conversation. Are you do you feel safe in your relationship? Do you have the foundation to where you can be honest? Do you set those containers? I'm gonna give you an example of setting a container. I know we spoke on this earlier, but I feel like if you take anything away from this live, take away this. If you are in a relationship, a situationship, if you are a mother, a father, if you have anyone close to you, set the container and introduce it and say, hey, I want to share something that's new for us. We've never done this before, but I want us to grow deeper in our relationship.
There's nothing wrong with you. You didn't do anything wrong.
Yep. You didn't do anything wrong. By saying that, you are neutralizing their ego. Hey, you didn't do anything wrong. And your ego is like, oh, yes. All right, I feel safe. Then you say, what?
It's like, so I feel this way, or I want.
This is before anything wrong is happening. This is just for you to set. It's a new thing for you to introduce into your relationship, any type of relationship. You didn't do anything wrong. I want to share and be vulnerable. I want to model vulnerability. And then you can give something that makes you vulnerable. If you're going to elicit vulnerability from someone else, you're going to have to model it first. I've learned that in my experience. And you have to be comfortable, or you don't have to be comfortable, but be as free as you can. But just say, I want to be vulnerable and I want to model what vulnerability looks like. I am feeling like I am unfulfilled in this relationship. Or I am feeling like, if you're talking to a child, that we don't talk as much. You're becoming a teenager and we don't have conversations anymore. And I know you being a teenager comes with a lot of things. And I don't want to be one of those mothers or one of those fathers where I don't have a good enough relationship to where if anybody in this world you want to talk to, I want me to be the person that you want to talk to. See how this container, just notice how that's making you feel. If anybody came to you and said, you didn't do anything wrong, I just want to be vulnerable with you, and I want you to be able to be vulnerable with me. Then also say, while we're having these conversations right now or in the future, emotions may pop up. You may get scared. You may feel like I'm going to harm you. You feel like I'm going to react I don't want you to worry about how I react. I just want you to feel safe in talking to me about anything. If you take anything away from this live, I bet you if you start off with creating a container, that will help you build the relationship, the foundational relationship. Try this once a week. Try this once a month. Just make it a time where there's no distractions.
Paris says, my anger gets in the way of me communicating. And I wanted to highlight this because when you're experiencing anger, and I can completely agree, literally my theme for this year is emotional regulation, okay? When you are experiencing anger is a secondary emotion. There's something that's deeper that is being uncovered within you, or kind of like a wound that's being picked, that when you feel it, it triggers that anger.
So if anger is a secondary emotion, the primary emotions can be fear, can be shame. The primary emotion is help. Guilt. I read help me and I said help. Yes, it's guilt. So imagine if you're having a conversation and we can recognize anger. Anger comes out. We can visually see anger, but understand that that's a secondary emotion. Mm-hmm. Dig deeper and say, what is making me so angry? For me personally, when I'm angry, my ego is riled. It's like, you're making me feel embarrassed right now. Embarrassment is a primary emotion. You're making me embarrassed because I don't want to admit that I'm wrong. In my earlier years, before I really fleshed out how I was feeling and really fleshed out my past, I felt embarrassed all the time. And I felt shame all the time because I was used to feeling that growing up in a Christian household. And that usually led to either me shutting down or me being angry.
So Paris, my suggestion for you is when you are feeling anger, and it's to the point where you can't communicate, you need to understand what your own capacity is for you to be able to have a space or an ability for you to share what you need to share. Meaning, you need to sit with yourself, pull yourself away. And I'm not talking about silent treatment. I'm not talking about, ghosting or
no, we're not talking about retaliation.
Yeah, none of that. Anger, when anger is present, that is an opportunity for you to sit with yourself and dive deeper.
Lean into the anger. Say in your head, my bad.
Yeah, what is making me feel angry? And the way that I like to dissect my emotions is, I'm feeling this because this, or I feel this when she does this. And that is going to help you understand, all right, like, for example, I feel angry when, or I feel angry when it feels like she's judging me, right? So when I'm feeling that her judging me, what is that telling me about myself? That's telling me she's judging me because there must be something that I'm doing wrong, or that I'm not doing enough of, or that I am
coming up short.
I'm coming up short with. Like, how dare she think that I'm not doing enough?
Yeah.
Boom. That is the source of my anger. The anger, the discomfort, all comes down to, usually at the core, what is your inner child wound or your core fear.
Let's see. If you can't figure out why you're angry or moody, though, that's a good point. All right, so I do want to plug in a resource that we are currently using, and it is a resource that Natalie created. I don't know if you know, and we don't put this out enough, but she's created a trigger tracker where what we're talking about are triggers. What we're talking about is what elicits these emotions is deeper rooted things. And a lot of people are in the space of, I can't figure out why I'm so angry. I can't figure out what is this connected to. This trigger tracker, that if you go to Natalie's page, you go through her links, she has it on Etsy. We're updating websites right now where we can put all of her resources, but she has journal prompts. If you cannot figure out why you have these emotions, what you need to do, or what I challenge you to do, I don't want to tell anybody what they need to do, but what I challenge you to do is start journaling. Something small. Today is January 20th. And
I felt this.
What's the situation?
Yeah.
Well, my boyfriend came in from work late. I asked him to get here at 5 o'clock because the kids this and this and this, and I need to do this meeting, whatever, what have you. It caused you to be annoyed and angry, and then that just avalanches into more emotions, and by the time you even realize all these emotions have just let loose,
it's like a domino.
You're like in a whirlwind. You can't even figure out what was the cause. I challenge you to download this trigger tracker. It is free. Download the trigger tracker and say, situation. Husband came home from work late. He had a sorry excuse on why he was late. I felt like I had to cook dinner. I felt like I had to help with homework. I felt like I had to pick up kids. I felt like all the responsibility was on me.
And then
what was the emotion?
The emotion and the thoughts that were swirling, because usually the thoughts that are in your mind and the story that is playing in your mind adds to what you're feeling. I want to add something onto that, because when you, let's say you're in a moody feel, you don't know, you can't really pinpoint where that first domino of negativity or whatnot entered into your life. I want to quote something that Candace Love, I don't know if you're familiar with her. Candace Love, she's an emotional healer, expressed. Sometimes what you're feeling and the emotions when you're feeling moody and whatnot, that can be old things that your body is still trying to process through. Sometimes I don't even know why I wake up on the bad side of the bed, like I don't know why I'm just like annoyed from the minute I wake up.
Yeah.
But It can be something as simple as a thought that I had where it tied into something in my past that is reemerging today. Like I can be waking up in my 7-year-old self that didn't feel like she was seen or heard, and felt like, there's so many things that can contribute to just you being moody. And a lot of it comes down to, do you to your core feel safe?
Yeah.
Do you to your core feel like you're understood? Do you to your core feel like you're heard? Do you feel like you are secure? And when the root of that security is fumbling and the foundation is not there, it trickles out, it echoes into all parts of your life. And if you don't recognize what the thoughts are, what the emotions are, what the triggers are, what you're doing is you're operating in a reactionary survival mode. It's just your inner child trying to like grapple, like, I need to feel safe, like I need to make me feel good, which causes you to distance yourself from people.
I want Miss BB97. She said, I don't feel any of those things. Tell us more so we can expound more. But Paris and others who, thank you, you said you're going to download it. Absolutely. Go ahead and download that trigger tracker. If what we're saying is not resonating and there are some deeper things you want to explore, I feel like the best way to get to the bottom of it is practice. You can practice conscious healing, that's what we're talking about. Intentional healing when you are journaling, when you are keeping up with what's triggering you, what's causing these emotions. We need to do a better job at saying this, and introducing ourselves. My name is Lauren, and this is Natalie. We've been together for over 4 years, and we are relationship and mindset coaches. One of the things that we are passionate about, because we love this relationship so much, we are passionate about learning ourselves deeper and loving ourselves and rebuilding ourselves, because we realize that we entered into this relationship as broken children. We entered this relationship as broken children. I am a child who have suffered from sexual abuse, have suffered from really trying to
not being able to trust.
I to this day am unable to really trust people, and that shows up in my relationship. Sometimes she is made out to be the enemy, and my ego and my inner child has named her as somebody I cannot trust, and I treat her as though I cannot trust her. We had a whole thing yesterday, and I'm glad we went through it because you were able to journal this out and repeat it back to me, and I felt heard and seen. And at the very bottom of it was, I didn't feel safe in the moments that were happening, and immediately, without me even knowing, I had a trigger. She displayed something she didn't even know she displayed. I didn't even know she displayed. But because we've been practicing intentional conscious healing for the past 2.5, 3 years, we're getting better and better and better at it. And I want to say, like, your broken child, the child that's within you, you have always reached out for validation, and you are always looking to know that you're doing something right. You suffer from imposter, or used to suffer from imposter syndrome. You can add on.
I definitely would label myself as an anxious attachment style, meaning that I notice everything about her, because I'm always wanting to make sure that we are good, reaching out for connection. And when I don't feel that connection, I'm like, all right, there's something that I need to do, or there's something that I did that's causing this. And so what do I need to change?
Right. So that's twofold. Me, I'm like, I immediately go into my 7-year-old self. Something happened to me. You are showing me and exhibiting behavior that I experienced when I was 7 years old. I couldn't confide in my parents what had happened to me. I thought that my parents should have said, "Hey, Lauren, you looking really off today. What's wrong?" My parents and people around me, and what was common was passive aggression. I don't want to ask my parent. I don't want to ask my child what's wrong. Not that they didn't love me and didn't. They saw me and viewed me as a strong child. How many of us are strong?
The strong
The
one.
strong one.
The one
And
that they
people
don't
don't reach out to us because we on the outside have built this armor that we are strong. So you displayed something the day before yesterday, and I withdrew. I was like, ooh, I need to. I went into introspection mode, and I went on a walk, and I didn't bring her in on my inner world.
The thoughts and the stories that were swirling.
I was reluctant to talk to her, even though I'm never disrespectful to her. I just said, you know what? She asked me, hey baby, what's going on? And I said, you know what? I need some space. I need some time. But she realized that I'm still distant. And her inner child is like, oh my God, what did I do? What's wrong? And she has an anxious attachment style. And we're going to talk about that in our later lives. So she's drawing closer to me while I'm pulling away. And what we're doing is creating this cycle of perpetuating all of what's broken within us. And as she coming close, I'm like, no, I'm pushing back. So she cornered me. We had masala chai, and we sat across the table and we talked. And I leaned into the discomfort and I said, you know what? These are my honest feelings. I don't feel safe. I don't feel like we're ready to do this. I don't feel this. I don't feel that. And even though I felt uncomfortable telling my honest feelings, what I told you was, I don't want to tell you my honest feelings because you're emotional. I want us to talk about these things objectively, and you are coming to me with all these emotions, and so I feel like I gotta push myself stuff aside to deal with your emotions, and I don't want to do that. So I'd rather deal with it myself, which is what I learned when I was 7 years old, when I was 4 years old, 5 years old, that the adults around me are not able to deal with my stuff. They don't want to hear that I was sexually abused. They don't want to hear that I don't feel safe when I go over this person's house. I'm already thinking that things are my fault. In a child's mind, we make up our own stories because our prefrontal cortex is not developed yet. So we're making up all these types of stories. So anyway, then she's like, you know what? I know when you don't feel safe. What's happening?
I want to add in here that a lot of the core arguments, communication, disconnects that a lot of relationships have is because you have two inner child wounds that are triggering each other.
They peak out at certain moments.
And that's what happens to us. She said she didn't feel safe enough, or she didn't feel like she could express herself because of my emotions. My emotions get tied up in there because my inner child is feeling, in a way, threatened and wants to protect and defend myself. Like, but I didn't do anything. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't mean that. That's not what I intended. Like, so now I'm responding like that, and then she'll be like, well, that's my reality. My reality says, and I'm just like, and so that's how we go. We start going back and forth, and in our efforts to be understood by the other person, we're not allowing each other to be heard. Nobody's being heard. Nobody's being understood. That creates more and more frustration and tension.
Ooh,
and that over time continues the disconnect. You literally start going like this over time. It's not going to get better until you start coming closer to yourself, understanding what the root of the causes are, and being like, you know what? I'm recognizing that I'm being triggered right now. She is my biggest trigger. She's my, like, if you want to talk about people, she is the mirror to me.
I challenge her to, because I'm so vocal and because I come with different background, that challenges her. I'm like, hey, I'm vocal. I am very direct. I want to talk about it. She's like, but I didn't grow up in a house where we talked about it.
I'm passive.
I'm very passive because I've learned that from the other adults in my family. So you're challenging me in ways that I've never challenged myself. So what do? So now she's feeling unsafe because she's that child. What child is ready to try something for the first time and have all the confidence in the world to try something? So I'm challenging her to try communicating effectively. And she's like, well, am I doing it right? I don't know how to do it. Are you judging me? It's like, now I just want to really share that when you are in a relationship, it doesn't matter what type of relationship, every single individual on this earth wants to feel seen, wants to feel heard, and wants to feel understood.
And loved.
And all of those things. They want to feel accepted. And when you allow yourself to set, the ego gets us in trouble.
When
you don't sit your ego down and tell your ego, and it's not even treating it badly. I've learned that my ego is not bad. Ego is not inherently bad. Your ego is here for a reason. It's to help you take your experiences, and it shapes your identity according to your experiences.
And it's there to protect you.
It's there to tell you who you are.
Your ego taught you, or your ego's there to protect that container of your own safety, the safety that you've learned how to develop through your life.
Let me show you how to calm your ego down.
Well, first of all, what does ego sound like?
Ego sounds like you're doing something wrong. She's judging you. It's you versus them. There's separation.
She's wrong.
She's wrong. The ego wants to identify something as being wrong and something as being right because it thinks that it's protecting you. Ego is separation. And so what you can do to calm your ego down is put your hand on your heart, put your hand on your belly, like on your solar plexus, and say, you are safe. Little child inside of me, you are safe. This person loves you. You love you. You can tell yourself everything that you need to hear. You are not 7 years old anymore. You're not 12 years old. I am safe. And I want ego, thank you for doing your job. I understand that my experiences you've allowed it to shape me, and you're telling me who I am, but I want to look for experiences that validate that I am safe. Just talk to yourself. These are things that I tell myself, and it's a process. It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. I say it in a way, the way that I like to connect with that inner child is, what did that child version of you need to hear?
Yeah. Oh my God.
How can you be the parent that you needed at that time? How can you speak softly to yourself in the midst of when everything seems awry? When you're feeling angry, where are you honoring yourself? Like, it's okay that you feel this way.
Yeah. It stops you from being mad at the parents that made you feel neglected, the parents that made you feel abused. If you reparent yourself and say, oh my gosh, you're doing that. Look at you, girl. You're doing that so well. Or, girl, to hype yourself up. Talk to your little child. Reparent yourself as if you're really talking to a child.
Yes.
We don't do this enough, so I want to highlight some things we see in the chat, because we just go and go and go.
Yeah.
And so, Paris said, you sound like my wife. I'm assuming she's talking about
Yeah, she
me.
also said that this is, or Empress said this is whatever we were talking about is currently happening. I know that what we're experiencing, even within our own relationship and our own dynamics, it is at the core what a lot of relationships go through. It is the inner child not feeling safe, consistently being triggered, nobody feels heard,
haven't been taught communication strategies or tactics,
not feeling understood, and at the core, all we want to feel is loved. We want to feel loved. We want to feel appreciated. We want to feel compassion from that other person. And the further away we get to that, the more we feel like we have to protect ourselves. The more we feel like we either have to pull away. The more we see the other person as the enemy and we are the victim. The more that we feel we're moving away from creating a healthy dynamic and moving towards a toxic dynamic.
Yeah, and it's an everyday fight. You constantly have to talk to your ego. Every day, I don't wake up as a 32-year-old woman. Sometimes, yesterday, you know what you got? A 12-year-old teenager. Like, you got a teenager who was withdrawing away from you. My ego was telling me she doesn't understand you. I wrote it down. I had to journal it. All the things. I had to be honest with myself. And I had to write down all the nasty things that I was thinking so that I can confront it. I want to say thank you and hello to everybody who joined this live. I'm just really acknowledging everybody I see in the chat. I really, really appreciate everyone who is engaging with this conversation. Obviously, it's just flowing, and this is how we feel, and this is what we talk about every day. If you are interested and you would like to have a 20-minute free discovery call, hit the link in our bio.
Yeah.
We're talking to clients on a weekly basis, and All right.
Are we still here?
I want to make sure the white boarding house can say hello. Y'all a beautiful married couple.
Wait, no, don't exit out.
Let us know if you can still hear me.
Yeah, her phone does your she has a time limit.
A time limit of how long I can be on social media, so that is what interrupted our live. So please let us know that you can still hear us.
Yeah, I think so. Reminders for Black Girls Say It says, so in marriage you never stop getting to know your partner.
Yes.
In marriage you should first of all never stop learning about yourself. And my belief is that the purpose of life is to come closer to yourself. It's to know yourself better and deeper. And with that knowing of self in a partnership, you share that knowing of yourself. So your partner continues to learn about you as well, so that they can help continue making the space where you feel safe and heard and understood and loved. Paris, what we were saying, we're coaches, and we provide free 20-minute coaching sessions.
Yeah.
So if you go to the link in our bio, you can sign up for a 20-minute session, and during these sessions we really just talk to you about and pull out what is
your current issue. What are you dealing with currently?
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off.
No.
What are you dealing with?
Yeah.
Sorry. And we allow people to explain their situations. What is the current challenge that you're dealing with yourself in your relationship? And usually couples come on or individuals come on. If your partner is not comfortable with coming on and talking about their situations, then we allow the space for you to really just roll it out. Just tell us. And what we are doing is we are hearing what it is you're saying. We're watching how it is you're expressing, and then we get to dig deeper into, these sound like communication things. These sound like expectations. These sound like X, Y, and Z. This sound like it's very clear to us because of our experience. I can hear your inner child and what your inner child is saying. So
I wanna point out, is our coaching only for couples? No, it's not only for couples.
Yes, it's for singles too.
You can be freshly out of a breakup. You can be in a relationship that's stressful and you just want to come by yourself. You can be by yourself and know that you don't want to repeat the kinds of relationships that you've had before because they were unfulfilling. What do I need to change about myself in order to elevate my life, elevate my relationship?
You can be a person who's never been in a relationship, but you want the nuggets and things that we are dropping so that you can feel prepared for a relationship. All things relationship with yourself, relationship, because we feel like you can learn a lot about yourself in a relationship, but you can learn a lot about yourself and get closer to yourself without even being in a relationship.
And in terms of relationship, it doesn't even have to be romantic. What we are learning and discovering and arming ourselves with radiates out into our family relationships and our family dynamics.
Yeah.
It radiates out into our work partnerships and relationships. The core learnings that you uncover about yourself and the tools that we can help you strengthen in your own self will help you literally in all areas of your life. You will be a freer, a happier, a
more self-aware person.
Yes.
How many of y'all are doing things and you don't even know how you're doing it, what you're doing, when it happens? But what we are advocates for is self-awareness. How can I be aware of my own patterns? How can I use a trigger tracker to understand my emotion and what situation, so I can start seeing patterns myself and say, this situation is happening repetitively and I didn't even see it before. But because I got this trigger tracker, now in Natalie's journal, it's saying, if you are realizing these situations repetitively happening, this means this. Try these action steps. We help you build action steps and things that you can implement in your life right away, because we've seen it work for us.
Yes.
One thing I do want to highlight is somebody mentioned since living in Thailand. Yes, we are a couple living in Thailand. We moved here 4 months ago. Our relationship has definitely gotten stronger since we've been here. Our relationship gets stronger anyway, but we're in isolation right now. There's not a lot of, we don't have family around us. I do have a cousin who lives here in Thailand, and my brother was here, but we are in isolation for the most part, just learning about us, learning about our business, learning about how to maintain the energy we want to have.
I feel like being in Thailand and kind of away from everything has created an echo chamber where we cannot be distracted from the uncomfortable feelings, the uncomfortable discussions. Like, we have to tackle it. And so things that used to bother us or cause issues with us that would last for a week or two or whatnot cannot happen in this environment. We have a little snafu. That shit is we go through that shit in like six hours, you know, and it's like we're getting more refined in understanding where things are. I always like to use the domino analogy, because what happens when you think of a stack of dominoes, you have one thing that just literally triggers you.
Sets you off.
It sets you off, and then from there, boom, everything starts to fall. All of the thoughts that you have, because from this point now, it's like, she's not doing this, she's not doing this, she's not doing that.
Your ego's telling you this, your ego's telling you that.
That's why I do this. Or I don't want to, you know.
Before you know it, you're in a silent treatment. Before you know it, you're not cooking dinner like you always do. Before you know it, you're not having sex. Before you know it, you're not, you're showing up to work in a nasty attitude. You didn't even know that several hundred dominoes beforehand, it was because of this one thing. And so, like, I want to stress that becoming more and more self-aware is a journey, and we are still dealing with this. Like I told you, we had our thing yesterday. We're not a perfect couple. We don't present ourselves to be a perfect couple. We built this platform because we are modeling for you the things that we go through, because we know we're not the only ones.
Yeah. I'm sorry. We came into this relationship wanting to create a healthy relationship, something that we ourselves never saw in our families, on TV. All we ever saw, I'll speak for myself, was the fantasy, the happily ever after, the lust, all of
beautiful weddings.
Yes.
And the people having more interest in the wedding than the actual marriage. Like, we wanted to redefine what a relationship meant for us, and we wanted to build that thing from scratch.
Yeah.
We wanted to build a healthy foundation. Yeah. And this will continue throughout your other relationships. And imagine what kind of positive effect this has on your kids. You get to model this for them and build these containers and build communication, and now you are modeling this for your children, for other generations, and it just continues. Mm-hmm. That's what we had in mind. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Wow, we hit on a lot.
Dun, dun, dun,
Before we close out, we want an opportunity for you guys to ask questions.
Yes.
DM us anything. It could be questions in the chat here. You can DM us if you want to have a more private conversation. If you're interested in a free 20-minute discovery call, then you'll have the opportunity to have a one-on-one or a two-on-one situation with us.
Link is in our bio.
Yes, if you are interested in supporting us and you like the content that we are providing, you can support us in numerous ways. We have a newsletter that you can sign up for.
Make sure you sign up for our email list, because we have. I just want to sit on this. We have some really great.
You can go ahead and say it.
Okay. Well, we have some really great workshops, potential trips. Retreats coming up.
We are here in Thailand, and we are in the process of planning retreats for you guys.
Yeah.
We have 2 in mind right now. You want to sign up for the newsletter so that you can get a detailed where are we going, how many people can go, how much it costs. We want we want you guys to come with us and have more deep and intimate conversations so that you can take back to your families and take back to your relationships, and you can start implementing them right away. We're not all serious. We're not all really deep and introspective. We have fun too, so we turn up. But yeah, you guys, can y'all talk more about our move to Thailand? Absolutely.
Let me start. So the beginning of 2023 started in a breakup for us, and a lot of people found our page based from a video that we posted about our breakup.
Yeah,
we broke up for 8 months, where we really just focused on ourselves, and knowing that at the end of it we did want to come back together, but we recognized that we were in a space where we kept triggering each other. And my nervous system was shot, she was exhausted, and we didn't know how to come back together.
Yeah, so we took 8 months time apart. I got a coach so that I can work on my individual self. We both did a lot of individual work. She dove more into her journals, into herself, what she wanted to do for herself. I feel like it was the most healthiest conversation, the most healthiest decision we made for ourselves. And in the midst of the breakup, we said to each other, hey, we're going to remain committed, and we are going to come back together once we feel we're ready.
And so we knew that we wanted to be in a space where we can live together. At that time, living together in America was just not feasible because it was stupid expensive. I do not know how y'all are affording life in America right now.
Yeah, we do, because we did it.
So we wanted to be in a place where we were away from a lot of distractions, and family could be a big distraction. We also wanted to be in a place that we could afford the lifestyle that we want to live.
Yeah.
We also wanted to be in a place that provided us access to healthy organic foods. And so at the time her brother was living in Thailand, and so that's why Thailand had came up into the picture. And so we decided to do a move to Thailand. So in September of 2023, after being apart for 8 months, we moved together to Thailand. And so Thailand has been a great place for us. Like I said earlier, it's like an echo chamber, because it's just me and her in our world, in our bubble.
It's serving us a benefit right now.
And
it's not our last stop, and we don't plan to be here forever. It's been really good challenges, I would say. An opportunity for us to learn ourselves, opportunity for us to interact with a new culture, and it really challenges us on all levels. And as someone said earlier, that our relationship has grown a lot.
It's deepened.
Yeah.
It definitely has deepened. And I think that what we recognized when we first started our relationship is that she said we came in as two broken children trying to create a foundation to build a relationship off of. But what was wrong was our foundation was already faulty. And so being in this environment where we're able to really clearly see and explore ourselves and each other.
Yeah, we don't have distractions. We don't have a job to go to every week. We don't have family distracting us. It's just me and her. And I think that we did that intentionally so that we can have space, and we can have a healthy environment for us to dig deeper within ourselves. And without distractions, you're able to get so much, find more nuances within yourselves.
Yeah.
A little bit about Thailand. We talked about this in depth in a few of our lives. So just scroll down a little bit. We went in depth on why we moved to Thailand, what Thailand is like, what are the highlights. I think one of my favorite parts about Thailand, I'm a very financially conscious person, and I really liked that I can live here comfortably. I'm talking about comfortably. I'm talking about luxury for $1,000 a month, and that's including everything.
That's your your apartment, that's your
food, that's your transportation, that's your fun, that's your massages if you want massages, that's your go out to the bar if you want to. We're not bar people, so drinking alcohol is not in our budget, but I'm talking about food. Our rent is about $300 a month. We eat out almost every day, and I'm not talking about burgers and fries and chicken. You can do that, but we eat Thai food, and we really love Thai food, which consists of a lot of rice, which consists of a lot of soups.
Flavor.
I'm talking about these people can cook, okay?
They can.
We go to the beach. We live on the beach, so if you can go to the beach if you want to. You can go and island hop if you want to. If you're interested in, again, if you want to, if you're interested in hearing more about life in Thailand, you can also click the link in our bio, because we also offer services to help you move abroad, not just to Thailand. We've also lived in South Korea. I've lived in Costa Rica. Again, this is not our last stop. We plan on hitting up Mexico for a while. We just came back from Bali, so it's life is beautiful. Okay, I think that we're glowing. I think that we're more healthy than we ever.
Yeah, man.
Baby lost about 20 pounds. I think I lost since the year of early 2023. I think I've lost about 20 pounds. Just being more conscious and being aware of our patterns and the way that we think shows up and manifests in your body, and it shows up and manifests in how you speak, and you start to pay attention, and this is a cycle, and you'll start to see your world just change. You're not a victim, and you can always change your reality if you don't like it. You smelling some food?
Someone is cooking something good. All right.
So if you guys have any last questions, go ahead and ask those in the chat. We appreciate you. We're a wealth of information, and we have tools and resources at the wazoo. One of our podcasts that we're listening to right now, I just want to share some resources. One of our favorite podcasts right now that we're listening to is Out of Our Minds podcast with Bella and Nikki. So check out that podcast. That's really a conscious and mind podcast if you're interested in that. And a book that we're listening to is, what's the book?
Insecure in Love. It's about the anxious attachment style and how
insecure attachment styles. So it talks about the attachment styles and how they show up in your relationship. That can be found on YouTube for free.
What I'm working on doing is creating a resource tab on our website. So everything that we're doing and we're using, there is a link, a direct link where you can also access it. Like the Insecure in Love, it's an audiobook. The full book is on YouTube, and so if I could just,
I think it's like 6 hours of listening or 5 hours of listening. You can really listen to that while you're at work, kind of doing your thing. But we love you, we love y'all, and we thank you so much for your time. You could be anywhere right now on this it's Friday evening for you, and you chose to sit here and listen to us. So if you're loving our content, please support. Download those trackers we talked about. Download her books. Etsy, we have sweatshirts. If you just want to give out of the kindness of your heart, we also have a Cash App. It's just $her and her girlfriend. We will be doing this more often. We took a hiatus, but we will be coming back we have an exciting series that's coming out, right? Like we have
it's like a sensual, sexual.
It's on the sensual, sexual side, and learning yourself way more on a deeper level. We will be on the side of learning,
like the coach, like being coached.
So y'all will have an insight on that. It's not just us, but we have a guest that also lives here in Thailand.
Where's she from?
I think she's from Sweden.
She's
a black Swiss. Okay. And she knows her stuff and very well versed. So you guys will see us on the learning side and you guys will be able to learn as well. Yes. But anyway,
make sure you subscribe or sign up for our email list, because we're gonna be giving y'all all the tips and stuff. All the links are in our bio. We love y'all. Thank you guys for joining. Mwah.